Ben Bradley disrespected me by calling me and tried to lump me with Tiffany Henyard. I'm not Tiffany Henyard.
He's pretty mad at me.
Ben Bradley should know, my name is Thaddius Jones. I'm not Tiffany Henyard. I'm not a woman. I'm Thaddius Jones. He disrespected me by trying to loop me in with Tiffany Henyard.
You guys have covered Dolton. You guys have covered what's going on in Dolton forever. What's happening here is worse.
One more question for the mayor of South Suburban Calumet City.
Tiffany Henyard was a bad elected official.
That's the first time we've heard from Mayor Thaddeus Jones since our report aired. It detailed questionable charges on his city credit card.
That's what Ben Bradley said. I'm Thaddius Jones. So tell Ben Bradley to get my name right, spell my name right. If he wants to do an interview, stop disrespecting me and apologize to me.
For those that don't know, please put some respect on my name.
So it looks like we have another mayor in the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, who's seemingly involved in some super mayor activities. This is Mayor Thaddeus Jones, the mayor of Calumet City, and he also serves as a state representative there.
A special meeting of Calumet City Council was held today to swear in city officials, and this includes their new mayor, Thaddius Jones. Jones defeated incumbent Michelle Markowitz, and he is a current Illinois state rep, and he's going to do dual duty, wielding the title of state rep and mayor.
So not only does he hold two positions of power, but he made history as the first African-American male of Calumet City.
History was made today in the south suburbs. State Representative Thaddius Jones was sworn in as Calumet City's first black mayor.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor, you've been installed.
History is going to be made today in South Suburban Dolton. Tiffany Henyard will be sworn in as the village's first woman mayor. Henyard won 82% of the vote in the April election. She'll be sworn in at 4 this afternoon at Dolton Main Park.
Two very familiar sounding stories, right? And he also got sworn in around the time that Tiffany Henyard was sworn in as the first female mayor of Dolton, Illinois.
Because I tell this to anybody, no man's gonna get mad here. Let a woman run it, and I'm gonna show y'all what we gonna do.
Now, Mayor Thaddeus says he doesn't want to be compared to Tiffany Henyard, but the things being reported about his spending habits, toxic work environment, and questionable emails to other city officials is very much giving Tiffany Henyard. And he's basically being accused of mismanagement of government funds. And also similar to the Tiffany Henyard allegations, he's getting heat for taking extravagant trips and running up the city's credit card with no actual proof of how his lavish spending is helping the residents of Calumet City.
We found $35,000 in restaurant charges and $46,000 for travel for himself and others over a 2-year period. Now, he declined several interview requests before our story was broadcast. Our information came from city records. His spokesperson told us he has since given up his city credit card and paid some of the money back. We asked for documentation. It never arrived.
And once again, just like Tiffany Henyard, there's all this excess spending from the city's budget and lavish spending on the city's credit card without the proper documentation or any explanations given. Because we all know Tiffany was infamous for running around, spending money, going over the budget, and taking trips that had nothing to do with the growth of the village of Dolton.
Based on this, and we've been in office a month tomorrow, $15,000 of the special event budget has already almost been depleted.
Well, I don't want to say you're right because I haven't added it up.
And now Mayor Thaddeus is being accused of some of those very same things.
Now, the mayor specifically took issue with our reporting that $17,000 was charged to his credit card for a trip to Washington, D.C. for himself and others. Listen to the word game he plays.
Ben Bradley said $17,000. Go back and check it. He says $17,000. So there's no way that I spend $17,000 on myself. I mean, it's not even possible for me to spend $17,000 myself on food.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So that is not what we said. We said the whole trip for the mayor and others was $17,000 charged to his city credit card.
So exactly what Ben Bradley said, he's playing around with the words. He's avoiding the answers to the question. I feel it's very possible for someone to spend $17,000 on their self over a period of 2 years. This is what they're talking about. They're not talking about a couple of months or whatever. They're talking about a 2-year period. So yeah, it's very possible for someone to spend that amount of money on oneself. And it actually wouldn't be that much money that you're spending on yourself for food if you were to spend that much over 2 years. And then so when you hear that, you might be like, okay, well, $17,000 is really not that much. It's really not, especially if what he's saying is true, that it was spent on other city employees. But the real issue is, was that money supposed to be spent like that? And were they supposed to spend all that money? Something tells me no, because he's getting very defensive about it and hiding the information as to how and who actually spent it. Now let's get into the second part, because the controversies do not stop here. Apparently there's friction and back and forth with Mayor Thaddeus and the Parks District.
30 minutes after our story aired, the mayor sent an email targeting one of the whistleblowers we interviewed. He wrote, quote, "After Clerk Fig's nasty interview about me tonight on WGN, I am withdrawing my support for the $250,000 for the Park District."
Because I told the truth, which is what you're supposed to do as an elected official and stand up for the taxpayers of the city of Calumet City, you are going to, in essence, punish all of the other residents and not support the Park District.
As far as the comment that you made on withdrawing support for the parks, do you regret making that comment via email?
I never made that comment.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
And I will send this to you personally.
Okay.
They're in the state budget for $100,000. I never agreed to give them $250,000.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
So that email that we received, you're saying that that's not a real email that came from you?
It is a real email, but I'm saying that they're in the budget for $100,000. I never promised them $250,000.
But he didn't deny making the threat, did he? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
It's not unusual for our stories to make politicians mad, but most have the good sense not to put their feelings into writing, and certainly not to send an email threatening retribution against whistleblowers.
So we can clearly see that the mayor of Calumet City is playing with his words as he denies and then admits to sending the email all in the same conversation. I mean, which one is it? If you sent the email, then you did make the threat. But now he's trying to change up the amount that was allegedly promised to the Park District from the beginning. And in the end, he never denied sending the email with the threat of him taking the funding away. Now, I do want to take this as an opportunity to give Tiffany some credit, okay? We got to give credit where credit is due. At least she was never caught doing things through email or writing that could then later be presented as evidence against her. Now, whether it was because she was totally incompetent and couldn't keep a chief of staff on to help her with the emails, or if it was because she was given some good advice about never putting things into writing that could later be held against you in a court of law. I don't know which of the two it was. It could be a combination of both, but she has certainly mastered the art of not dealing with emails.
Now, let me tell y'all something. Have y'all ever emailed Tiffany? Because, she has never, since she's been the mayor, responded herself to an email, ever. She didn't even have access because she says she don't like responding to emails.
So he never denied sending the email, threatening to take away the money he originally promised from the Park District. So what I find so interesting about this is that Tiffany Henyard was always at odds with the Park District as well. So what is it about the Park District that gets these mayor's panties all in a bunch? Okay, I mean, Tiffany Henyard would go around Dolton making smear videos about the Park District, saying they weren't doing their job and making it seem like they can just approve their own funding, when in actuality, she would put up all kind of barriers to get in the way of them getting the things they needed to improve the parks there in Dolton. Now let's look at Thaddeus and Tiffany both hating on the Park District.
Nyota Figs first spoke out in her role as Calumet City Clerk, where she has repeatedly clashed with Mayor Jones. But for nearly 20 years, she's also been a commissioner for the Calumet Memorial Park District. Mayor Jones, in his capacity as an Illinois legislator, was asked to help obtain $250,000.
We need to revamp our parks, our buildings, our facilities.
So the sudden email threatening to withdraw support for Park District money hit hard in a community known for rough and tumble politics. As a result of our reporting, City Council members are now requiring Mayor Jones to produce receipts by mid-June to document his charges and explain how they were in the interest of taxpayers. Legitimate questions, especially in a community where 20% of residents live below the poverty line.
I have 4 tickets issued from the village of Dolton, and each ticket is $500 apiece. That is $2,000 worth of tickets that I have here.
Dolton Park District President Cleo Jones says they were stunned last week when they received citations for doing work without a permit. He says 2 of the tickets were issued for spreading fresh mulch on district playgrounds.
So every year we replenish the mulch in the park to ensure that the safety of the kids are playing on a safe surface by playing on some healthy mulch. And we do this every year.
Have they ever asked for a permit before?
Never.
If you don't work for the village or work for any other body of government I govern, you go to the park. That's where all the rejects go.
She is the worst. She is the worst person in the world.
But it's not just mulch and swing sets. They say Henyard is holding up $600,000 in grants for the Park District. One from Blue Cross Blue Shield, the other from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, by refusing to issue permits for the work.
As we have gone to the village for permitting, and they have been unresponsive. I have a project manager that is working on that, and they just refuse to give us the permit.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, and I wanted to come here to the park to show you guys the things that I have a problem with, and you should too.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh?
As you can see, right before you, a slide that's all dismangled. A slide that's all dismangled. All messed up. Park, clean your act up. I can't stress enough how many things I fight for the people to have a good community in our village. Because guess what? You guys are doing lawsuits, you guys are doing all these things that's irrelevant to the things that you're not really taking care of, which is the kids, the people. You can have parties, you can have events, you can have all of that. But what really matters is the kids being able to get out of school, have somewhere to go that's safe. So I care about safety. How would you feel if your kid came home and told you they got injured at the park? You won't believe it, because you won't believe that this exists in your very backyard. Look at the graffiti that they're writing throughout the park. Look at the things they're writing on the slides, on the different things throughout the park once again. All I can do is bring attention to it, and hopefully they fix it, because now I put it out there for it to be known. But I need them to actually fix the park and stop just using it as a partying holding place for them and their cronies.
Dolton Park District Director Stephanie Wiedemann says if they don't get the permits in the next few weeks, the $400,000 grant to overhaul Blackstone Park with a new walking path and gazebo will expire. And taxpayers will have to eat $150,000 in money that's already been spent for the park's design.
What resident wants to look outside of their house and see beat up stuff? If we can upgrade these things and you're preventing it with a permit, the residents are suffering. They don't get to look out their door and see nice things because you're stopping it.
Just because we finish doing something safe for the community, upgrading our playgrounds. Why? Why are we receiving citations for doing upgrades to our playgrounds?
So we've established that neither of them like the Parks Department for some reason or the other. But let's get back to Mayor Thaddeus of Calumet City, because the controversy doesn't stop at his alleged threats to take away their funding. This beef goes back years, and in fact, he's been accused of way worse things than taking back money he's already promised them. And one controversy, including Thaddeus, centered around his ongoing conflict with Nyota Figs, the Calumet City clerk at the time, when she publicly accused Jones of bullying, harassment, and retaliation after disputes over how city meetings and communications were being handled.
Calumet City clerk is accusing the mayor there of bullying her. Today, Nyota Figs spoke out about her experience with Mayor Thaddeus Jones. She says this all started after she told the mayor he wasn't following the law by posting meetings publicly. After that, she says everything went downhill and that it's gotten so bad she can't even go into City Hall and do her job.
I can't work under the stress. I can't work under the harassment, the retaliation. I'm uncomfortable, and others around me are very uncomfortable also. It is affecting other leaders, other department heads. And so I would just like for the mayor to correct his behavior.
So he goes on to release a statement regarding this issue, basically saying it's unfortunate that the clerk is stooping so low by calling herself a victim of bullying when there's so many other real cases and people who are actually getting bullied. He also said she made several mistakes while in office, one of which included her losing nearly $3 million in city funds. And among his attacks on her, he decided to bring in the FBI to do a forensic audit that focused mainly on her department.
The mayor of South Suburban Calumet City saying an audit of the city's finances has uncovered serious problems that demand the attention of the FBI. Mayor Thaddeus Jones held a news conference this morning to release the results of a forensic audit he ordered upon becoming mayor last May. He says it shows serious problems with the city clerk's office, public works, and purchasing. Among the findings, more than $1 million in traffic tickets which have not been collected. The mayor says there's cash missing that was collected by the city clerk.
The clerk failed to account for $22,000 in cash in her vault, 2020, 2021, and then as the auditor will explain, there are other years that the clerk collected the cash but failed to deposit that money into the city account.
The mayor says the audit also found employees selling scrap for some extra cash. Jones says he's insulted by the report and its findings. Now, the mayor and the clerk have been feuding in recent months. No response yet from the clerk.
Now, I want to get back to some obvious behaviors that I feel link Tiffany Henyard and Thaddius together, because even though he doesn't want to be grouped in with her,
he disrespected me by trying to loop me in with Tiffany Henyard.
Some of the things he's done is really giving super mayor vibes, all right? Like this next example of when he locked city officials out of City Hall.
Controversy tonight in Calumet City. City Council is accusing the mayor of playing politics to prevent a challenger from running for office.
Alderman James Patton organized a special meeting Wednesday night to vote to dismiss this lawsuit set for trial this week. The mayor's administration filed it against city clerk Inyota Figs 3 years ago when an audit accused her of destroying documents. The day the city council is set to make it go away, an emergency building closure.
What you doing there, sir?
And a new lock on the front door. Standing out among the sparkling trees and candy canes at Calumet City City Hall, orange barricades, yellow caution tape, and a sign announcing the building's closure due to unforeseen emergency circumstances. Mayor Thaddeus Jones, in an email, explained the closure was because of emergency pest control and water piping issues. But his challenger in the upcoming election sees it differently. What are the emergency circumstances?
We're having a meeting tonight to overturn something that the mayor's been trying to do for 3 years.
Mayor Jones telling WGN News in a new statement about Wednesday's conflict, the city council doesn't have the authority to dismiss a lawsuit. Only the mayor can direct legal work. This is a political ploy by a failed candidate and a city clerk who destroyed city records.
I'd like to make a motion to dismiss this case.
A majority of aldermen still went forward with their meeting on the steps of the closed city hall. In wind so strong, they knocked down one of those shining trees.
The motion carries.
They approved the lawsuit's dismissal, saying they represent the will of the people.
It's been 4 years of bullying. It has just been a lot of retaliation and a lot of anger. And so therefore, I'm glad today that finally my aldermen were able to stand up for what is right.
So yeah, just locking people out, changing locks, pretending that the building needed emergency pest control, just a hot mess. And if you guys don't know by now, Tiffany Henyard was also known for locking people out of Village Hall when she was the mayor in Dolton, and when she had issues with the business that they were trying to conduct.
Ray and Micah, good evening to you. The mayor locking the trustees out of Village Hall tonight, forcing them to have a meeting out in the parking lot, all of which has Dolton residents shaking their heads in disbelief.
We as citizens, as residents of Dolton, have been shut out of a building that we pay taxes on, along with the trustees being shut out of this building.
Village Board is on one side and the mayor, Tiffany Henyard, I'm told, on the other.
This is the second time she did this.
Edward Steve is a trustee along with 5 others, called a meeting 2 days ago to appoint their own legislative attorney to try to advance their agenda.
Trustee Norwood hosting the village meeting that is scheduled for September 2nd at 6 p.m., giving 48-hour notice. I just want everybody to see that it is being posted.
Reason being, they say, the mayor and her village attorney have blocked their efforts at every turn. Tonight, they say they were locked out of the village hall and forced to hold their meeting with a quorum they had in the parking lot.
Mayor Jones has refused to talk to us. His spokesperson first suggested the email threatening the $250,000 grant was fake. We then showed him a copy. He now doesn't deny its authenticity and adds the mayor thinks the money for the Park District is imperative, a matter of principle, and he's supportive. No explanation given for his change of heart.
It's very punitive, is typical behavior by Mayor Jones. This is how he retaliates, and hopefully everybody sees what's happening and someone will probably stop this type of behavior. Elected officials should not be allowed to withhold state funds because of personal vendettas against other elected officials.
So I can definitely see some similarities in the allegations between Tiffany Henyard and Thaddius Jones. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that the news is just reading too much into this? Do you think they're doing too much? Do you think he's doing a good job? I would like to hear from a resident there. If you happen to come across my video, let me know down in the comments how you feel things are going in Calumet City. But you guys, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed my video, please remember to leave it a like, and if you're new here, subscribe.
The bad blood in South Suburban Calumet City dates back years. The suburbs mayor has always denied playing any part in it. If what you say is true, your opponents are some pretty good actors.
Well, they deserve Oscars. I mean, you should give out WGN Oscars for political theater.